Morning. This is the latest Toyota Hilux 2016 with a bigger tow capacity and obviously a need for towing mirrors. I'm Mike from Clearview, and this morning we're going to do a fitting on the Hilux and put a set of our mirrors on. Okay, the first thing we're going to need is some tools. Obviously, we're using a battery drill here. Right, you're going to need a flat screwdriver and a small screwdriver and a couple of panel removing tools. You can substitute those for a screwdriver if you need to. Okay, you just need to be careful if you're using a screwdriver not to damage the panels. Toyota panels come off pretty good, so they're pretty easy to work with. Okay, panel removing tool or a small screwdriver. Okay, we're going to start by taking the corner cover off here. Comes off pretty easy. Right, just take it off and let it hang. Now, you can get to the bolt holes here that hold the mirror on, but the problem is the electrical wires are down inside the door panel. Right, so that means we've got to remove the trim to get to the plug. If the plug was up here, like on some of the other versions, it'd be an easy fit. But in this case, we've got to take the door panel off. Okay, you're going to start off. We're going to remove this leather trim here, right? So using your panel removing tool, just get underneath there. Once again, pretty easy. Now, you can leave this here if you've got a long screwdriver to get to those two screws. There's two screws here and there's one underneath this panel here. So leave that like that, or you can remove it. Just a little bit of fiddling around here. You got like a locator of some sort. Get that out. It sort of flexes in and holds up underneath there. Okay, in behind the door latch, you got another plastic panel. Take that out. Now all we need is a Phillips head. Undo that. Undo that. Undo that. Okay, now you've done that, right? Go away, do the job, and then come back and we're going to lift the panel. Okay, now you've got the three screws out of the door panel here. You got your cover off. We're going to try and get the door panel off. Okay, you can use your panel removing tool. Get in underneath the door panel here, right? They're pretty easy, right? They don't take much. Sometimes your popper clips will come out. Right, no big deal. You just put them back again before you put your panel back on. Okay, take your door trim off. And it's as easy as that. Okay, now that's the popper clip that's just come out of there. Right, I'm going to pop that back into there. Right, there's another one at the bottom that's come out, which I'll grab in a moment. And once you do that, your door panel will sit there. We like to use a little hook, but these are a fairly light panel. There's no stress. Okay, here's your clip, all right, or your connector, I should say. Right, take that out. It's the same as this connector is actually the same as the previous model, just the wiring configuration that's different. So now I'm going to get my rattle gun and take the mirror off. Okay, now you've got your door panel off. We're going to take the three bolts out of the back of the mirror. These are a 10mm socket. You'll notice that they're a fairly long screw and they're a self-tapper. It's because you're going into plastic. The bracket that holds the mirror on the door is just plastic. Okay, we don't use those when we put the mirror back. You've got three screws in here. And it's a real advantage if you've got a magnetic head socket as well, because the screws stay in there. Just hold onto the mirror when you undo the last screw. And then the mirror just literally comes off like that. Okay, there you have it. Toyota's plastic mirror. Okay, go do that, and when you come back, we're going to put the mirror on. Okay, the new Hilux, you'll notice, have what they call diffusers on the side of the base. Toyota's obviously felt the need to do that. We've put our own version on there. Hasn't got 4. You'll notice that the earlier model Hilux base don't have that. Unless it's got that, the base is different and it won't fit on the door. So if you're buying a second-hand set of Hilux mirrors and expecting them to go on this, they're probably off the earlier model and all the shape is different. They won't fit. So we're going to put these on, and it's now. And it's easier if you've got somebody to hold the weight of the mirror for you if you're doing it on your own. Right? Try and find somebody. Now you make sure that you go underneath that wind deflector here, right with the top of the base, and then seat it down in there, and make sure that when you line your holes up, you use a screwdriver to put this in and get a start on it. If you can do it up with your fingers pretty much like that, you know that you haven't cross-threaded anything. A magnetic screwdriver is always a big help as well. And as long as you can get a good start on that bolt, you'll normally find that your thread's okay. The reason I'm emphasising the threads is because you've got a steel bolt here that's screwing into an aluminium base, and it's quite easy to cross a thread with aluminium. So just get a good start on it, and they're pretty good threads, so we nip them up then with the rattle gun. Just make sure you do them up evenly. Okay, now we're at that point, we're going to plug our electrics in here, right? And before you go any further and lock it all back up again by putting the panels on, you really need to check your electrics and make sure that everything works. We start off with the indicator, and obviously we've done something right. Next we're looking for the mirror controller, so we're going to go up. Beautiful. Going down, going out, and going back in. Okay, turn your ignition back off again and go and do it. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to button it all up. We've done the electrics and mounted it, and the whole thing's all good to go. We're going to put the cover and everything back on now. Make sure you leave your wire for your speaker and everything in this part of the door here. Don't get it trapped down behind the door panel. Make sure your popper clips and everything all push back in here, and they're all home. That's all good. We've got 3 screws to put back in. We've got one here behind the door panel, the door handle. We've got 2 here. I'm going to put this cover back on behind the door latch. Make sure you put the front end in first, and then the other end will clip in. Do that a couple of times. Doesn't come out, so it's got to be located. And now we've just got the door panel armrest to put back on. So this arrow-like clip that we got here needs to go through there. So you need to locate that in there like that, and then the panel itself actually just goes down like that. Put this back up here, make sure you locate the positions correctly, and then give it a love tap in there. Mirror's ready to go out. And you're good to go.
After 10 years of research and development, Clearview towing mirrors can now be fitted to a greater range of tow vehicles than ever before. Clearview are pleased to announce their exciting 2016 range. Now, nearly every tow vehicle on the market can be fitted with a set of Clearview towing mirrors. For more information on Clearview towing mirrors and other great Clearview products, call 03 8351 9933 or visit clearviewmirrors.com.au.